Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Amar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Elliott Stafford, founder of Lux Agency and Elliott's Pages, a cutting-edge platform and resource hub for user-generated content creators. Elliott's journey from college dropout to business owner and her mission to empower both brands and creators through strategic content, automation, and education embodies the next wave of digital entrepreneurship. Elliott, welcome to Founders Future.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take me back to before you even got into UGC. What were you doing beforehand? And then what really motivated you to even enter the space?
Okay, I feel like before UGC, I was definitely like your average, like teen, early 20-year-old who was just not really sure where she wanted to go with her life. I was going out of soccer, out of collegiate soccer and into modeling at the time. And then I was also balancing multiple jobs. I was working as a high diner server. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings for a little bit. I worked at Starbucks. I worked in sales. I was literally bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
And I feel like half of it was like financial instability that motivated me to do something myself that was all over social media at the time saying you can have freedom of choice, freedom of life, freedom of income. And so that obviously was one motivator, was to just attempt to go forward with that. And then my next motivator also was just being in the modeling space. I got to see a lot of creatives at work and see the back, like the behind the scenes in commercials and acting and movies and runway shows and all of that. And they had content creators a lot of the time helping them with those kinds of productions. And that was really fun to me. And I noticed I've always been behind the camera more so than in front of it. But as I tried to mend the two of them, I found UGC, and that ended up being more of like my passion than modeling. And then it obviously gave me financial stability, which was like best case scenario because modeling did not give me that.
Fair enough. So it's best of both worlds. You enjoyed it more and you were making more money. Can you give the listeners more context if they don't understand what is UGC?
Yes, UGC means user generated content. And I feel like there's a lot of controversy on what that means because I feel like so many people push it and pull it in their own direction. But really, what it is short form video content as a paid advertisement for a company. And the idea is for it to look organic to the average user, so to the consumer. It's not supposed to look like influencing, it's not supposed to look like I was paid to do this. It's supposed to be very natural and real.
Yeah, I'm using this in my day-to-day life, or hey, look at the benefit that I get from XYZ thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. I'd love to dive deep into your business today and what that looks like. So there's Lux Agency and then there's Elliott's Pages. Can you
Mhm.
explain to us the differences, what each of them focuses on? Walk me through that.
Yeah, so Elliot's Pages was more so like a passion project in the beginning. It was a play on words because my name is Elliott Page and my middle name is spelt like page in a book. And in the beginning of my life, I hated that. I was like, why did you not name me Paig? Like E. Like I always ask my parents that, like, why on my birth certificate is it Page? And it's such a weird story because it was like just a mess up at the hospital when I was born. They just spelt it wrong. And now, like moving forward, I feel like it's such a like direct reflection of who I am because I'm very like deep and poetic. I love to write. I love stories. I love that type of thing. And so Elliot's Pages was like supposed to be the book of my life and like my name and like everything that I've been through. And so I created a podcast originally called Elliot's Pages that
Mm.
walked us through my modeling journey, the ins and outs of that, the bad, the good, the horrible, how I managed working so many jobs, how I created a company from the ground up at age 22. I quit all my jobs. I dropped out of college. So that was Elliot's Pages, was just
Cool.
a creative story. And then I was able to create my UGC company off of that. And really started making UGC like a lucrative part of my life.
Mm.
And that's what Elliott's Pages was. And then Lux Creative is now my transition from just UGC to agency owner. So Lux is now my agency and it's still in the works. I'm deciding whether or not I want to go forward with an academy addition to it. So teaching creatives how I was able to scale and build retainers and build partnerships with brands and not be like a one-off low ticket creator. What, because that's the only way you can actually make it as a creator is obviously holding yourself to a higher standard and getting retainers with these people and not just doing one-off work. But Lux really is the idea that it's going to be a Lux creative base. So every creator that's actually entered into Lux will be vetted by me. They will have the same systems that I have, the same editing tools, the editing process, the copywritten process is my process. So it's like an entire vetted program. So when I partner brands with these creators, it's to be like a Lux experience for both people in the partnership. So brand treats creator fairly, pays creator upfront, and creator delivers work on time in a performance-driven way. So that is the idea. I've had a lot of experiences as a creator with agencies that they want a Lux opportunity. They want a Lux creator, but it hasn't always been the case where they've delivered like that same energy back. So that is what I'm trying to build with Lux, is like a mutually beneficial partnership.
Okay, okay, very interesting. So I want to dive deeper into the business model and understand that a little bit more. So there's the UGC creator side, and then there's the brand side. Are you teaching people how to be UGC creators, or do they already have to be a UGC creator that has an established following? Let's start off there, and then we can dive deeper into the other aspects.
I've gotten that question a lot, even from my friends, because I feel like it's a cool opportunity that I'll have where I have the chance to partner my friends with these brands and allow them financial stability. And that's a really big thing for me because a lot of my friends are moms. A lot of
Mm,
my friends have daughters and sons. And so it would be really cool to give them the ability to step into the online space and help provide for their family. So I've been on a crossroads of will it be I can now teach these people to be up to that scale, or should they already understand the ropes coming into
mm,
it? Because I want it, like I said, to really be obvious that my agency is top tier. I want it to be like a smaller group of creators. I don't want to go overboard with it. Like, I really want it to be just really good, performance driven, creative.
got it. And so
So,
you don't want to have like as many creators as possible underneath it. What's
mhm.
the vision? Where do you really want it to be?
I think I just want it to be somewhere where people can go, where brands can go and really be almost guaranteed performance. I feel like there's so much chat in the creative space of marketing is such a trial and error. You really are taking a risk. You don't know if there's going to be performance, but it's if you have a structured strategy and you implement that and you're consistent with it, then you should see results.
Yeah.
So that's my idea is I just want to see it grow. I want to see me be able to see my creatives grow in their creative process and their income. I want everybody just to have such a good experience that when people think of Lux and when they know of Lux, they just don't have anything bad to say. I just want it to be that much of a good experience.
Yeah, interesting. Have you thought about potentially adding coaching side of things, like apart from the connection of the brands and the UGC creators? Because I know there's people out there that show people how to do this, right? They have some sort of programs, whether it's one-on-one or group coaching, or maybe it's a school community, something like that. Has that been something that you thought about? Do you think you'll ever do something like that? What's your thought process there?
Yeah, I think it definitely could be something I'm interested in. I used to coach in the past when I started making a lot of money with UGC and people reached out to me. So it was more like a if you ask situation. I never broadcasted my coaching. I never asked people to purchase anything from me. Really, I coached people who literally came to me and asked. And it was such like a discounted rate because I feel like I love helping people. That's why I stepped into Lux was to actually help businesses. I got really tired of the UGC model of one-off collaborations where
Mm.
businesses state that they don't see an ROI, but they don't work with somebody long enough to even obtain an ROI. So I
Yeah,
think that's like where I'm at with the coaching too, is yeah, as long as I'm helping people and it stays a very congested community, I want them to be coached by me. I wouldn't want it to be this whole thing where I'm delegating all of this work and people are not really actually getting the full effect. I would want it to be, again, a very like small, streamlined community.
I see. I see. Okay, very cool. So I guess where do you make money in Lux Creative? What is the business model there?
It can come from a few different ways. For instance, I connect a person, a creator, with a brand. So they will be the person actually in the content, the face of the brand, and they will be the ones editing. And then if it's organic content, they'll be publishing the content. If it's paid content, then they will be delivering that to the brand for their media buyer to put up as an ad. But half of that is I will charge a convenience fee for the fact that I found them a creator. So I'll take a percentage of that when placing them with a creator. And then if by any chance the creator isn't the best copywriter, then I will just take that on my end. I will write all of the content and then I will get that cut, but they will still be the creator, the editor, and the publisher. So that's like kind of the route that I would go there is I'm not always going to be the face, but I can be the person still in the back end doing some of the extra work.
Very cool. So it sounds like really, what do you think comes first? Bringing these creators underneath your umbrella or bringing the brands on board? What do you think is the first step?
Right now, for me, my LinkedIn does so well that I have been able to have so many big, high ticket service-based businesses reach out to me for help. And
Awesome.
that is like my main niche is SaaS. I like to work with people in the construction industry, in law, in telehealth, in apps, and stuff like that. And so I've had the opportunity to really have already a pretty big amount of brands reaching out to me that need help with their creative and need help with their marketing. So I feel like it would be a better case scenario for me to get results, build case studies with these creators and brands that I already have. And then once I see how that goes, plug and play and see if I need to go into the back end again and then like re-coach and retrain these creatives.
I see. So right now it's organic is crushing it on LinkedIn mainly. And is
Mhm.
it inbound or do you do outbound? What does that look
I
like?
do outbound. Most of those are just brands that I've, yeah, found myself via LinkedIn or through the premium like LinkedIn program where you can see who views your page and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
go and find like a lot of brands that way. And then all of it as well has literally been LinkedIn DM inbounds, which has been absolutely crazy. At one point, I've had 200 DMs to open on LinkedIn of brands,
what do you attribute that to?
meaning, what do I think it came from?
Yeah, like why do you think organically you're getting a lot of leads?
The first reason was because I posted an incredibly controversial video on LinkedIn and it ended up, I think it's at 6 million views right now on LinkedIn,
Okay.
which I've heard in the LinkedIn community is 20 million on Instagram. That's just the amount of like exposure it has because it's CEOs, it's CMOs on there. So it's 6
A
million.
lot more, yeah, the people that are watching it, it's a lot more impactful.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was one video that kind of spiked the original like peak of
What
growth.
was it about? How is it like?
It was that one AI trend that's this is name. This is Elliott, and this is like what she does in her day to day, and she does XYZ. And so I did a video on that, and it was like entirely satirical, like it was all satire, like none of it was true, basically a complete joke. And it was like basically playing on the idea of like female founders, how we like are just silly and goosey and we just want to have our cute cup of coffee and get on our computer and like tap keys and not do anything. And that was like the controversy was like me
Yeah.
dancing, me like making my coffee, me like spinning around in my chair. And
Yeah.
so all of the people in it were like commenting, "Oh, what do you actually grow? Do you even grow people's companies?" Like blah 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 blah. Like some people were really huge dicks to be transparent.
Yeah, yeah.
And then other people were like, "This is so creative, this is so smart. This is what LinkedIn needs to
It's
do."
funny. It's
Yeah,
comedy.
it's
Yeah.
funny. And so I got controversy on it. Was it should this be on LinkedIn? is this professional enough to be on here? Or are you a genius? Were basically the two things I was getting. And so then I got a lot of people in my DMs congratulating me on the video success and then reaching out to me and asking what it is that I actually do. And at that same time, I had just launched Lux. So it was just like a kind of a seamless uprise in the exposure of my company and then also just the exposure in my personal brand. And so now it's like a public testimonial because what I do for brands is I connect them with a face to grow their business. And I proved it on LinkedIn with one video. So when people ask, like, how do you know your organic strategy works? And it's half of you are on here because of my organic strategy. Half of you found me
Wow.
because
Wow.
of it. Yeah. So
You
it's like,
wouldn't be talking to me if it didn't. That's powerful. That's
yeah.
very powerful. I love that. So, do you ever see yourself branching out and maybe running ads or doing something else for lead gen? What's your thought
A
process there?
1000%. I think I want to get, because I've had clients right now that have stayed for 3 months and 6 months, some even a year. And then after that year, sometimes we are more on a 3 month basis. Like they reach out to me every 3 months. Sometimes they don't need content in that way. So I'm trying to get on maybe like a 5 retainer client basis with only high ticket services. And then at that point, once I get a few creators under the belts of other brands as well, then I want to start making paid ads and automating the system. So basically, probably when I get to around like 25K a month, 30K a month, I will start automating that system and then hopefully grow and double. That's the idea. I hope that if I get to a 25K month here soon, automate the system, I should be doubling my income very soon.
That's exciting. And
Yeah.
with the ads, what do you think that is going to be for? Is that going to be for getting more brands, for getting more creators? What's the idea there?
I think I have enough creators just organically that I've met in passing in events online. I don't really need that so much unless I were to want to build like a very big creative community and start coaching like a mass amount of people, then sure. But I think right now it'll definitely be more problem aware towards brands. So I'll probably run very specific ads targeting very specific niches to get those clicks up and like really directly target that ICP within each company. So like construction, telehealth, apps, the hook will be like very obvious. Like if you're a DTC brand making over 100K a month, but your ads aren't scaling or your brand isn't growing, like that kind of thing, like very direct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
You have a background in marketing or anything like that?
honestly, no, not
Yeah.
really. Like I did go to college for a little bit. Because I mentioned I was a college soccer player, but I got hurt, which is the main reason I dropped out. I couldn't play
Mm,
soccer anymore. And so I was going to school for marketing and coding, actually. And
cool.
yeah, it was really fun, really cool, loved it. Went a little bit, did some like extracurricular activities as well, did like media broadcasting at my school, but I never finished my degree. And I feel like most of what I learned was pretty self-explanatory. It was like pretty basic information, to be honest. Like most of what I learned, I feel has just been through my experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to have the degree in marketing. I think there's so many great marketing books and great marketing courses, programs, YouTube videos, and experience. Like the
Yeah,
market will tell you if your marketing is good or bad. You know?
agreed. 100%. It's lit. Yeah, like just look at the analytics and you can tell.
Yeah. I was just curious. And when I asked background, I didn't really mean so like degree wise, more so running it yourself and whatnot. But
Running my whole business.
yeah, yeah. So it sounds like you're wearing the marketing hat, the sales hat, etc.
Yes, right now. I definitely could see myself hiring a closer at some
Yeah.
point because I don't think I'm the best at sales. I think that's where I lack a little bit. I feel like I'm too kind. I always let people leave the call with like unopened hard closes, which I've been told multiple times through mentorship, stop doing that. But
Mm,
I don't know what it is. It's like people need to think about it or have questions. Who am I?
yeah.
But it's so I'm a little bit softer in my approach, which has gotten me great clients and long-term partnerships and a lot of trust and good connection. But then it's also, I feel like probably lost me a few people who actually would have benefit from my services. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's tactfully knowing how to handle objections is a very important skill to
Mhm.
have. Yeah, and then sometimes learning that yourself is important, but also you could just bring somebody else in that can do it.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
where I'm
that,
like, I feel like that would be best case for me because it's if you're already good at it, that's great.
yeah,
You can handle that.
for sure. I am curious, what do you feel like is the biggest challenge you're facing or bottleneck that you're facing right now to growing this to doubling it even further? What do you think it is?
I definitely think for me personally, it's been a little bit of two things. One being time management and just how what I allocate my time to. I'm so far away from hustle culture. I'm the furthest thing away from that. I try really hard to be anyway. So I give myself like a lot of grace, but there's times where I feel like maybe I would be a little bit further ahead if I did partake in culture and I was working until 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. There are days where I definitely beat myself up for stopping work at 7 p.m. But it's at the end of the day, like I love family time. I love spending time with people who mean a lot to me. I have a little chihuahua who loves to go on walks every day. And if I
Yeah.
don't, she's up until 2 a.m. anyways. So it's like there's things that I love cooking dinner at night and things like that. And then also another bottleneck would probably just be the automation. And getting paid ads out, I think would really help, like having a CRM system helping me with my follow-ups. All of that's manual right now. So it would be nice to have a follow-up system because
Yeah.
so many times you actually close a deal on a follow-up. And I do feel like I miss out on a few opportunities by just my lack of a system, like a systematic approach to my follow-ups, because it is sometimes I'll follow up here and there, maybe not so much this day, a little bit next day.
Yeah.
And it's if I had a little bit better of approach, I definitely think I would be seeing my business grow a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever used Go High Level?
I've used it for other people's companies when I've given them paid media or given them a VSL or a thank you letter, but I have not myself implemented it into Lux, which
Yeah.
I want to. And honestly, I should because I think it's not even that expensive of a subscription. So it still makes sense right now to start doing it. I was one time told by a mentor, like, don't start running ads until you're making like 50K a month. But where I'm at right now, I feel like it would still make sense to go forward with running ads.
I completely agree. And I honestly don't think like the types of ads that you're talking about are pretty cheap to test. Like we spend $500,000 a month on ads, work with 4,000 plus people, showing them how to do it. You can literally test it with 30 to 50 bucks a day. And you will know within a week, like 4, 5, 6 days max, whether it's working or not. So that's
That's,
$100. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would think about that if I were you,
Yeah, I'm putting that down
for
because I
sure.
should. I think that's probably the biggest thing for me. Yeah, is just
Well,
the automation.
yeah. Well, what is the best way for people to reach out to you to work with you?
Yes, I have a link in all of my social channels, which is like booking in a call, which I love that. I love when brands book in calls with me without even talking to me. It's so exciting. But I
Mhm.
also obviously email is collabs, COLLABS at elliotspages.com. And that's ELLIOTTSPAGES.com. People always spell my name with one T. And then people, of course, spell page also PAIG. So I have to be very
Yeah.
specific.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Elliot, for your time.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for having me on.
You as well. So that wraps up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we were able to go from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.